Welcome to Forest Chat, where we talk about individual endeavour in Western Australia, what it takes, what it means, and how you do it. I'm your host, Paul Vandermeer, and in today's episode, we're talking with Sugi Kossen about being a library officer. Sugi has been the library officer at the Australind Library and generally works with children there. Welcome to Forest Chat, Sugi.
Thank you for having me, Paul. It's lovely I could talk to you about my work at the Australian Library.
Thank you, Sugi. It's great to have you here. Sugi, people go to the library and they think librarians, but you're a library officer.
Yes, that's correct.
What is a library officer?
A library officer's main task is working around the library on the floor. A librarian is the one who is in charge, so we are not in charge of the library. And my task has been to serve the customers who come, young and old, and also to work with children. And also I do rhyme time, which is also run at the library, and story time. And I've been doing that for nearly 22 years.
Wow, 22 years.
That's right,
Fantastic.
yes.
So what is rhyme time?
Rhyme time is a program that we run from babies till they go to school. All rhymes, so the children are taught rhymes because rhymes are important for the development of the brain. So that's our focus. And I try to include a number, alphabets, and also shapes and various other things that help them to develop their brain, and we repeat it twice. Every rhyme is repeated twice because we know repetition is important for their development.
The youngsters, they learn really quick. They soak everything up and I'll say just a couple of times. I have to try and repeat things many more times than that.
Oh yeah, the youngsters love it when we repeat, and I always start with one rhyme which says open, shut, and they know it so well because they have done it that many times. Yes, and open and shut is a contrast, opposite, open, shut. So those are the things that we try to incorporate in our rhyme time.
And then how does that differ from story time?
So story time, we read a book, at least one. We try to read 3 books, but it's very hard because the age level is going very low because the kids start to school by 4, they are in school. So they're all under 4 and they haven't still learned to sit still and listen. So we aim to have very simple books, very quickly, but at least 3 books. But again, very simple words that they can remember. And also I try to have a rhyme that they can go with the book. And we sing, so that helps them as well to remember. And then we do a craft.
Oh, we just had a truck. I didn't order that.
Oh, they love listening to trucks as well. The children love about trucks. Yes, and then we have a craft to go with the story time. So that's our main thing there. So it all runs only for half an hour.
That's a lot to pack into half an hour. There's a whole story with a rhyme and some craft.
Oh yes, we do it very quick. So it's not a very long book, but we try to have 3 different books. Again, thinking of the development of the brain. So like something to be, maybe truck is our main theme. So we talk about the wheels and that's a circle. And then, it's to do with rhyme alphabets as well, truck. And a rhyme to go with that, so the repetition, yes.
And then, is that all that you do, or is there more?
Oh, there's more to do. So we finish. So I work on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So this is how it starts. You open the library at 8:30. We start. So we open and we make sure everything is on, and then there are other libraries wanting books, so we go and find all the books and put them on. And 10 o'clock is the rhyme time. So I've got all ready for it, which I do. Previously, I always make sure it's all prepared and then put them all, and the children come and then we have the rhyme time and then we finish, and then there are customers waiting to be served. And so we help them issuing books, returning books, photocopying, helping with computers, and listening to people's lots of stories and not repeating it.
That becomes your day at the
Oh
library.
yes, it continues the whole day, and then we go around and make sure the shelves are tidied, and sometimes people with special needs come, so we can't do can do only up to a certain point, but then we help them as well, and then they just want to give you more than anything else. They just want a smile from us, and then we also help people who got unable to, older people who are older age, who can't unable to stand for long. Then we help them to choose books, and people come and ask, oh, can you find this book? They may have just half a title, and then we have to look through and we find it. We try our best to help people as much as we can. So that's our goal.
So, Sugi, what does it take you to be a library officer?
First, well, you need to have knowledge. Of course, you have to have studied. It doesn't matter how much you study. You still don't know the job till you come to the job. There is a computer program which they train you for that, because each library has got different program. And I was a teacher, so I had the skills to work with children and young people. So that was one thing. And also patience and not judging. We had to learn to be very neutral. We can't take any side. We cannot talk about that or that. We listen, and good listening ears, and not repeat it. And also giving the time that people need, which is sometimes can be hard, but we have to persevere no matter what they may come and say, I just need this printed. All right, we stop everything and go and print that out. Sometimes they say, I want you to help me in this computer here. I may not know anything, but I go and try my best. And if I can't, then I pass it on to my superiors. So it's a patience, I would say, persistence. And also I enjoy it very much. If you don't enjoy it, you can't do that job.
Oh, for sure. That makes a big difference to most jobs.
Yes.
And I think that the things that make a job enjoyable are the things that enable you to stay.
Yes.
And once things make it less than enjoyable, most people tend to get out unless they're trapped.
That's right. And also I was brought up with my parents. My dad always took us to a library, and that knowledge, to go and sit there and read, appreciate books, that is in me always. I grew up with that. So wherever I went, first thing I always went is to a library. And that's how I got into the library, yeah. Because I used to be a teacher at school, yes.
So what did you teach?
I taught first home ec for older kids in Sri Lanka and also in Australia for a while. And then I became an EA to help with little ones. So that's how I started my career here at the library.
So you came with teaching skills for
That's
older
right.
people,
Yes.
or older children, I guess,
Yes,
at that time.
and
And then you also expanded into the youngsters.
yes,
And then because you had skills, I guess, across all of that area, plus a natural affinity for being at a library,
yeah,
that made you a great fit.
exactly. You're right, yes.
That's really an interesting way to come into the library. I would sort of think that sometimes people might be in the library first and then go out and do more, but you've actually come into the library.
That helps. And because I've been dealing with people all the time, even as a teacher, parents, so I had that skill. Need to really have a skill to understand the children, and also to skill to deal with the parents and to adults as well. Yeah, that is something that we have to learn to do it, but it has to come.
So it's very similar to being a teacher.
Exactly.
In a lot of ways, but your programs are very specifically tailored, or you have a couple of programs specifically tailored at the youngsters.
Yes.
Before they get to school.
Exactly.
And then it's a general role of information.
Exactly, yeah. But also I visited schools because I did rhyme time. The schools wanted me to come to the schools. We have a program, the State Library and the Western Australia, with the help of Rio Tinto, have organised a pack which is called the Better Beginnings Kindy Packs. So all the children who go to kindy get a free pack with a book in it and some other information about reading and for parents. Mm-hmm. So it comes to the library and we go to the schools and distribute them. And always I go there and have a story. And so I had a good interaction with the schools. So all the schools in Australia I have been to. So
and you've probably met a lot of those students before they got to school.
exactly. That's how they knew me, of course. Yes, yes. So like sometimes I've seen they come as a baby, then they come as a toddler, and I see them as teen, and sometimes I see them as parents. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
We've heard what it takes you to be a library officer. We'll have a quick break, and after the break we'll have a look at what it means. We've heard what it takes, Sugi, to be a library officer. Now, let's have a look at what it means. Sugi, what does it mean to you, your family, or the community that you are a library officer?
The community, I think you are known by everybody. I go in Australia. One thing is because of my colour, I stand out. Plus, I have been living here for that long. Everybody knows about the library. So you go to the library and think, you go to the shop and think, oh, I've forgotten that book. Can you extend it for me? Sometimes I don't even remember what they're saying. But, you say, all right, come to the library, we'll sort it out. So that's one. So community means the people know me very well. So I don't know, I hope I've left a good example because I just want people to know each other and love each other. That's my aim. And I always cared. I love helping people. So that's my way how I help the community. My family, they love it. They always taught them to read and love the books. So that's how it has affected me. So my family, so they all studied well and they all got their own independence. And then they are all still into teaching their kids to read books. So that knowledge, I have passed it on. Yes, and my husband also loves reading. So we both get books and we can talk about books and read and discuss, which is very important for us, yes.
Yeah, books are amazing, aren't they?
That's right.
I've not really, I've been in, most personally, in the writing of training,
yes,
not in the writing of stories
yes,
as such. But that writing process is very tricky.
Yes.
And the reading process, you actually get a lot out of reading.
Reading, yes, of course. And now the reading, as time goes, I noticed as you get older, the brain shrinks, that don't you? So sometimes people find hard to see, so they go for the large print. So we have that facility at the library. So that has helped, And then sometimes we can't read for a long concentration. So we have the audiobooks. And now we have got the e-books and e-audiobooks as well, which you can download. So that has helped the community a lot. I sort of promote that quite a bit. It's not that you're going away from holding a book, but to help them still to be in touch with that world of books. Yeah.
Fantastic. So you mentioned audio books. So
yes.
Are they on compact discs, that sort of thing?
There are compact discs at the library, but as people get older, they can't even press a button, So we had one person who was quite blind, so he couldn't even press. So we introduced him to these e-audiobooks, which you download through the library card. So the State Library has helped us there, paid for that. And you download that app. It's either Borrow a Box or Libby or Hoopla or Canopy. And you can download that app and you can listen to books. And that I do all the time when I walk. And it's free. And so the people who can't in the community, that would be a very helpful thing to do, yeah.
Right. So it comes across like a podcast
exactly.
or something like that.
Yeah.
So you listen through your device and...
whole book you can listen and you don't have to buy the book. Yeah. Once you finish, it's gone, but it's,
Yeah,
and
so same as borrowing a library book.
Exactly.
You give it back
that's it. For this gives you 6 weeks or something like that. It's automatically done. Yeah. So that's a big help for a lot of people who have, difficulty in concentrating or reading. Young people too. I say, hey, if you don't want to read, do it this way. Yeah. So that helps.
And is there a lot of take-up with that?
Yes, it is growing So I want this one a young lad came. He used to be a little toddler as a rhyme time, and then he came. Now he's doing I'm not sure what sort of work he's doing. And he said, I want to read, but I can't concentrate. I said, why don't you try this? He said, can I really do that? I said, yeah. So you can borrow a book and you can listen to that as well. So he got two.
Yeah,
So he was very impressed with that. So which helps people. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you've got an inbuilt love of books for yourself.
Yes.
Which you learned from your
my
parents?
my dad.
From your dad?
Yeah, my mother tongue is Tamil because I was born in Sri Lanka. And there was another language in Sri Lanka we had to learn, Sinhalese. So my dad said, no, you have to learn that language and both languages and English. We have to learn English. So he made us study English all the time. And so he would tell us, because I'm from a Christian background, so he said, all right, you learn Tamil at home in your Tamil Bible, go to the English Sunday school, so learn from that. So I had to go 1, 2. I think as a kid I would have said, oh, why is he doing that? But now I appreciate because I can understand. And then he would take us to the British Council Library and then the Public Library of Sri Lanka. And then there were so many libraries. We had Russian libraries and we had Chinese libraries. All the libraries possible, he would take us every Saturday, once a month. So we had books like that. And, you'd come home and we could read. And he introduced, I'm very grateful for my dad that he did that. And all my siblings say that, And when I think of him, as a young person, I may not have appreciated all what he did, but now I really appreciate what he has done because I could pass that to my kids. And I see that in my kids.
Wow,
yeah.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You must get a really good feeling from that.
Oh, yeah, which is, and they have a real, wanting to improve their knowledge, that's what Dad put it in our heads, No, you don't give up, you keep studying, you keep going, that motivation, yes.
Fantastic. And there's a lot that you could learn.
Yes.
There's probably more than you could learn.
Yes. So
you can just keep going. Then.
Oh, yeah. And he never, even because in Sri Lanka we had to work hard to, it's to go to school, you still had to come home and do your homework and study. So you would make sure, get up in the morning, get up, study. Wow, that was persistence he gave us, to persevere, to persistence,
Fantastic. And then you mentioned about being well known in the community. When I started walking along the estuary, we saw you out there walking as well. And it wasn't long before somebody said, that's Sugi, she comes from she works in the library. And then that was quite amazing. So how many generations have you actually worked with?
Oh, that would be, I saw he's now 15, so he would have come he would have come as a baby. So 15 years at least. So for example, I've seen older than that because I've seen mums who are 21 now who are babies.
You saw them as babies and now they're coming with their babies.
Yeah, and I saw a young toddler now he's maybe 16, 17. He used to sit on my lap when he came to church because he only knew me through the library. So he sat on my lap and now the other day he came to the library and said, you look so tall. Yeah. So I had to be, remember that I have been there for many years, yes.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed every year of my life. I cannot complain. I enjoyed my work very much.
And it's given you a real connection. You must know everybody, but we only found you after we came here.
We have been living here for a while in Australia as well, so yes.
So we've had a pretty good look now, Sugi, at what it means for you, your family and the community that you're a library officer. We'll have a quick break, and after the break, we'll have a look at how you do it. So we've had a look at what it means to Sugi to be a library officer. Now let's have a look at how you do it. Sugi, if someone wanted to become a library officer, what would they need to do?
Well, I think I would say go to the library and talk to one of the officers there or to the librarian, and they will direct you what you should do, how to go about. But one thing you have to remember is library is not just for reading, sitting there and reading books. No, you have to work and have to have a good contact with people, to love people, and willing to work. You have to do anything you'll be asked to do. Yeah, because we are in the public, yes.
So you've got that public-facing role.
Exactly.
So learning anything you can about customer service,
exactly.
that
You're
sort
right.
of thing.
Yes.
And having a good attitude.
Yes.
To talking to people.
Yes.
Even when it might not be the thing that you want to do. So, or maybe the individual is not really communicating what they want easily.
No.
You've got to be able to handle getting through that. So
Yes.
preparing for that.
Yes.
In your story from earlier,
Yeah.
you were a teacher,
Yeah.
so you would have actually got some practice at those sorts
Exactly,
of things
yes.
in a classroom setting. And then as you worked with people of younger and younger ages, you realise, they have even less capability to control their side of the argument.
Exactly.
So you need to be able to work with children as well.
Well, yes, adults.
As well as with adults.
Yes.
So having some life experience probably helps there.
Helps this. Yeah, it does help. Yes, I would say that. Yeah, but something that people think is, I love to work in the library. It's so quiet. It's not like that. And it's not just books. It's lots of other things involved in it. Yes.
So you also need to be up with the technology.
Exactly. Computer skills, yes. Because when we started, I remember when I started, they had the computers. But before that, they used to write everything down. And then they stamp it, but it's not like that anymore. So it's all, and every year it's upgrades, so you have to have good computer skills, or at least a basic, and keep learning. I had to keep learning. You can't stop. Keep learning, keep training. That's the attitude you have to have if you want to start in this area.
So if you've been already practicing that with technology, then you'll be on a good path already.
Exactly.
Because you're doing that probably in your private life.
Yes.
And this is just an extension into
Exactly.
work life.
Yes.
So do you have people come in to use the computer probably most often to check email, I imagine?
Exactly, yes.
Are there other things that they do with it?
Yeah, they come to the library to even do passport applications, and then sometimes we don't have, now they don't print these books, with all the addresses. We used to have yellow pages, blue, white pages, now they don't have. So some of the people come and say, I want to find this address, how do I find it? So there you go, then we come and we had to go to Google and find out,
Yeah, like the address of a business. Or
yes,
a
exactly.
location.
Yes, location. So we show them how to, if they can use the computer, we say, all right, go there and go on there, or go on that website and you can find it. But some of them don't know how to use the computer, so then we have to find. Some of them even don't know how to use their phone. They have it, so we have to sort of teach them how to do. So the library do run courses for that, to help them to use how to do things on their phones.
And do library officers run those courses?
Yes. I'm not very good at it, but there's other people who are good at it. They will do it. So, but I can do the basic.
So you've got a range of, I'll say, general life skills.
Yes.
Related to technology. That
Yes.
If you've been brought up in that world,
Yes.
you probably already know
Exactly.
how it works at the moment.
Yes.
And just naturally, you just understand. Well,
I think sometimes it is true. Naturally, they do understand the younger generation. Yes, yeah.
because they've been used to doing
Used to
it.
do that, that's right. Because they're taught in schools to use all that as well. Yes.
And they get to understand the patterns that you see and
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I know from my parents, when they were learning computers, it was quite clear that they were looking at the screen as a whole.
Yes.
And although a piece of the screen changed,
Yes.
it didn't necessarily mean anything
No.
to them.
No.
And that's for me, that was an interesting difference that
Yes.
they had
Yes.
compared to how I was actually looking at the screen, because I knew there's a little window in there and that's something has changed,
Yeah.
and that's where I need to be.
Yeah, that's right.
Whereas if you consider the entire screen, you don't realise
No.
what's gone on. And
exactly.
sometimes it changes quicker than the
Oh,
blink of
yeah,
an eye.
and yes, it's true. And also updating. You have to update your phone software. Some of the people don't know that they have to do that. So it just takes one. So the simple things I help with computer skills, but the advanced I pass it on to the others who can do. So in one way, our library has got people with different talents. So they use those talents to do that, which is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all talents based around the services
Exactly,
that the library
yeah.
provides,
Yes.
which is access to hard copy books,
Yeah,
access
exactly.
to computers,
Yes.
then also the electronic side of the offerings like CDs and
Yeah.
e-books and
Yeah.
e-audio books.
Yeah, that's right, yes. So you've got a variety of that, yeah. So library is an interesting place. It's a world of knowledge, all sorts, yes. Yeah.
It's a window of knowledge.
That's right, it's a window of knowledge. That's better to put it that way, yeah. And it's free. So anyone can come for any information. One place you can go is to the library and you could get some help, yes. Because most of the people, when they're stuck, they come to us with things like that, yes. Yeah.
So you're that next line of information, like how do I point me in the right
direction, yeah.
I did have in my previous work someone who needed access to a book that was worth it was a reference,
Yes.
chemical reference book, and it was worth thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And not the sort of thing you just go and buy and keep at home.
No.
And the library system in WA, I think, had one or two of them.
Yes.
And he had to go to his local library, I think. Well, I think he might have gone to a university
Library, yes.
And was able to get that book to that library, and he was able to then...
Yeah, we do that as well, as much as we can, but it's getting a bit hard now. But as much as we can, we try to get books. But we used to have external loan, we call it. So we used to ask for university to get it. But now, because of funding, it's a bit hard. But we try, whichever way we can, we try. Maybe they have to pay something. Before it was free of charge. But now I think I'm not sure of that, whether they still
continue. It probably depends on where the book comes from, doesn't it?
Exactly, yeah. Because sometimes we used to get from other states as well. Then we had more funding, but now it's gone. Everything is getting harder now, so you can't. And some of the books are as an e-reader, so they say, well, as much you just download it as an e-reader. So we could help them to get that as an e-reader. That's much more cheaper. Yeah.
Simpler, yeah.
Simpler as well, yes. Yeah.
And more immediate. Because
exactly, yeah.
Imagine shipping a book from over east takes a
That's
week.
right.
And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sugi, for giving us an insight into being a library officer. That's an amazing thing that you've been able to do within the community, and the community really appreciate. You see that on the faces of all the people that you meet along the path.
Yeah. Thank you. And I must say I really enjoyed walking, and I love Australian. It's a lovely place to go, and I'll enjoy my walks, as I always do. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Sugi.
No.
And all the Forest.chat listeners wish you all the best in your future endeavours.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
You've been listening to Forest.chat, where we talk about individual endeavour in Western Australia, what it takes, what it means, and how you do it. I'm your host, Paul Vandermeer, and in today's episode we've been talking with Sugi Kossen about being a library officer. Remember, there are 4 ways to get involved with Forest.chat. Subscribe to the emails at Forest.chat. When you subscribe to the emails, you get early notice of the episodes. Listen to the episodes at Forest.chat/episodes. If you do something that other people might find interesting or want to do, book an interview at Forest.chat/interview. If you want to support a local business, book an advert at Forest.chat/advert. I look forward to being with you with our next episode. Until then, enjoy making it happen.